Lena had always been beautiful, not just admired but envied. Her smile was the kind that turned heads, her eyes the shade of warm honey that caught the sun. On her 22nd birthday, her grandmother handed her an antique mirror wrapped in velvet. "It belonged to your great-grandmother," she said softly. "Keep it covered when the moon is full." Lena laughed off the warning as an old superstition. The mirror was exquisite, framed with silver vines and tiny faces etched along its edges, too detailed to have been carved by hand. She hung it above her dresser, admiring how it caught her reflection perfectly, almost too perfectly. That night she noticed something strange. Her reflection smiled, just a fraction, a split second after she did. It was subtle enough to dismiss. But when she looked again, her reflection was still smiling, even though she wasn't. A shiver rippled through her spine. She told herself she was tired, that the flickering light was playing tricks on her. But as she turned away, the reflection tilted its head slightly, watching her leave the room. Days passed, and Lena began to notice subtle differences. The reflection's eyes were brighter, the skin smoother, the lips redder than hers. Each morning, her real face seemed a little more faded. Her friends commented that she looked pale, tired. Even makeup couldn't hide the dullness creeping across her skin. Yet when she gazed into the mirror, her reflection looked perfect, alive, radiant. One night she heard a whisper, faint and hollow, drifting from the glass. It spoke her name, slowly, almost lovingly. When she leaned closer, her reflection whispered back, "Don't you wish you could stay this beautiful forever?" Lena's hand trembled. She backed away, heart racing. But something inside the glass followed, the faint outline of fingers pressing against the other side, as if testing the barrier between them. The next morning, she found a thin cut across her cheek, perfectly mirrored on the glass, where a crack now ran like a frozen tear. Lena tried to cover the mirror with a cloth, but each morning it was uncovered again. Shadows moved behind her when she brushed her hair. The reflection would blink when she didn't. She stopped sleeping. Her phone camera glitched whenever she stood near the mirror. In every photo, her reflection was smiling wider, eyes too sharp, lips too red. Then one night, she woke to a sound like glass breathing. The reflection was standing outside the mirror, whispering in her voice, "You gave me your beauty. Now I'll take the rest." The lights flickered. Her screams echoed, but only one face remained in the glass when it was over. Morning light crept through the curtains, painting the room in pale gold. Lena stirred weakly in her bed, her body aching as though she had been drained of something vital. The air was cold, unnaturally so, and when she opened her eyes she froze. The mirror stood uncovered again. But the reflection that stared back wasn't her. It looked like her, but full of color, vitality, and warmth, while Lena herself looked ghost-like. Her lips were colorless, her skin gray, her eyes sunken. The reflection smiled, radiant and cruel. It mouthed the words, "I'm perfect now." Lena staggered to her feet, desperate. She threw a lamp at the mirror. It shattered into hundreds of glittering shards. But each fragment still showed the same beautiful version of her face, laughing silently from the floor. The laughter grew louder, echoing through the room. It wasn't coming from the glass anymore. It was coming from inside her head. The walls pulsed like they were breathing, the air vibrating with whispers. "You can't destroy what you've already given," they hissed. "Beauty doesn't die, it just moves on." Lena fell to her knees, clutching her head as the fragments of her reflection began to crawl back together, fusing themselves into one perfect, smiling image once more. 2 weeks later, the apartment was empty. Lena's phone lay on the floor, the camera still open, recording nothing but silence. When her friend Hannah came to check on her, she found the room cold and still. The mirror hung back on the wall, perfectly restored, its surface spotless. But when Hannah leaned closer, she saw Lena inside it, smiling faintly, her hand pressed against the glass. "Lena," she whispered. The reflection blinked, slow and deliberate. Then it mouthed, "You're beautiful." The lights flickered. Hannah's reflection shifted, her face softening, her features glowing a little brighter. She gasped, stepping back. The mirror hummed, almost alive, as if pleased. Outside, the sky darkened, clouds swallowing the sunlight. Inside the mirror, Lena's reflection began to fade, her beauty now shimmering in the glass version of Hannah instead. By the time Hannah left the room, the mirror's surface was still again. Only faint whispers lingered in the air. The mirror wanted her beauty, and it will never stop wanting more.